Thank you so much for joining me. So this is a new little shape that I'm working on right now. And I shouldn't say new because honestly, you know, it's been around for a long time, but I did a little disconnection in it. So I wanted to share with you that. And yes, I see someone said, I loved hair in the 80s. I did too. We did so many things like asymmetric shapes. We did shave underneath, like lines in the hair. You guys wonder where I get all my crazy ideas? It was from the 80s. Okay, so let's take a look at this. And you guys type in the chat where you're from. I always love to be able to look back and see where everyone has joined from. So, I mean, I get people from all over the world. I always appreciate you guys tuning in and just, you know, checking out what's happening. So, okay, on this shape, you can see we've got a lot of lengthen through the back. And I went in and actually did a disconnection, but the disconnection sits only in the front area. So it is, we've got Portland, Chicago, Rhode Island, California, all over the place. Okay, so the disconnection, I'll keep going. You keep typing, I'll keep going. So the disconnection sits only on this front area from the high point of the head forward. Everything else, I used diagonal back sections and just worked a layering pattern to an increase in length down at the bottom. The diagonal back sections are really what gives us the shape, and it does it all on its own. So here's my disconnection right there, that great little piece. And then underneath, what I did is I went with slight diagonal backs, not too diagonal back, because if you keep tipping your parting and you make more horizontal, the top will naturally get heavier. The more vertical your shape is and your partings are, the lighter your shape will always be. So I worked this with diagonal back sections all the way through. So just kind of coming through here, all the way down to that bottom. And this is where I worked to an increase in length. So I'll use my carve-in slides because I'm working on dry hair. And I just went and worked out to that increase in length down at the bottom. And I could come in, I could place a couple of actual carves in there to break it up a little bit more if I wanted to. But that created this really cool shape, which is really just kind of a layered cut with a little more length on the bottom. What I wanted to do today is I wanted to take and accentuate my disconnection, because see, this is, even though it didn't really look like it, look at how much disconnection is in this shape. So I've got my shorter hair underneath here and the longer hair on top. Let me turn that come a little bit closer. So we've got right here and that. So that's the disconnection that I have. And disconnection creates movement and separation and interest in a haircut. I think if everything blends, it becomes a very boring type of shape. So with this disconnection, I took the hair, brought everything to the center, and cut a square. And what that does is, because my angle is, my parting is angled right here, this hair right here has to travel a greater distance all the way up. So it is going to be longer when it drops down. Yeah. And I thought, you know, do I need to take more off of it? But the more I looked at it, the more I'm like, no, I kind of like that. It makes it, to me, very interesting. I'm going to carve out the fringe area. And someone just asked where I'm located. I'm located in Spokane, Washington, so up in the Pacific Northwest. We keep trying to move away, and I can't. I'm just a PNW girl, a Seahawks fan, you know, I've got it bad. So I'm going to just work a little bit, kind of carve on both sides of the fringe. So I'm coming in, carving on one side, and then picking up and carving the bottom of it. So I'm getting a little bit of a point pushing together. She looks cute. I was so happy with her. You know, sometimes you do something and you're like, is that really going to turn out? I like it. Oh, you guys, I've had a lot of requests for the carve-in slides. These are the ones that push the hair. They don't actually cut the hair like straight. So you can't do a like a solid line. Someone just said, do I do live classes? You know, I don't do any, well, I do a lot of live classes, but I teach a lot in New York and on the East Coast. we've been trying to get something in Seattle, in the Seattle area, to do an actual class. So DM me and maybe we can see if we can work something out. But back to the carve and slides, because we just got these in lefties. So I can't even hold them left-handed. I don't know, some people are ambidextrous, not me. So I've got the carve and slide in the lefties, and then also a new thing coming, and I can't even use them yet. I tested the blades and I tested the swivel. How many people out there are swivel users? Let me know. Type in the comments if you're a swivel person. I just got my angel blade swivels. So they'll actually be here. We just ordered them, I think October or November. So they've got the tension knob. They have the polymer glide to reduce metal to metal wear, and convex blade that cut amazing. So I'm excited to announce those, but you'll be hearing more about them. So coming in here, I'm going to be in Dallas coming up in, next weekend. I'm actually in Dallas doing a live class. I've got a couple of different models, and if you're interested in that, send me a DM, because I don't know if there's any tickets available still. So, you can see it's kind of like they call it a mingle and munch. There's going to be hors d'oeuvres and models. Okay, so just coming in, working on carving, not taking out a whole lot, but just kind of working through this shape. Now, one thing that I did do on this was I did do a little bit of channel cutting right at the ear area. And what that does is it opens up the ear so that you can see through. And if any of you guys are afraid of channel cutting, or you're curious about channel cutting, it creates movement. So if I were to lay my channel in line with the way that the hair is falling, you'll see a actual split in the hair. So I'm going to come in, turn this a little bit more, and then lay the comb, or lay the scissor right on that parting. So I'm going to come in right here, all the way up, right on the scalp. And that right there removed that little bit of hair. It doesn't take that much hair out, but what it does is it creates this split and this area where the hair can travel. So I like to do that. And then also right in front of the ear, right here, I'll take out just a little bit of hair right in front of the ear, and that gives us kind of that transparency. So I'll do another channel, because I want to break apart this little thick area. And mannequins have a lot of hair, but sometimes clients have a lot of hair too. So just coming in, channel cutting right there. Remove just a little bit of hair. And people always ask, won't that stand out when it grows? It will if the hair grows straight out from the head. If the hair does not grow straight out from the head, it doesn't. It just follows growth patterns. So let me do that on this side as well, on our little shaggy mullety thing. Okay, so coming through, and then working right along that edge. And just taking out that panel of hair. I think I saw Jacob Kahn doing something on there. Did you request to be live in my video, Jacob? Or are you going live right now? We tend to go live at the same time. Okay, there we go. Let me take out just that little bit of hair on this side as well, in front of the ear. And now we have some space right around the ear area, which to me makes it just a little bit more interesting. Okay, so what questions do you guys have for me? What would you like to see? Okay, waiting. A lot of people want to be in the video. I don't know how to do that, but hi. Yes, I'm using thinning scissors. These are a 40-tooth texturizer. So it's almost like a 50-50 blender. So it can, it removes a lot of weight, but very seamlessly. What other questions? Okay, okay. I'd love to know how many years you guys have been doing hair. The people that follow me, or if you are a client and a consumer and you like following my videos, type that in the chat. If you are, just say client or stylist in the chat. That way I know, because I've been getting so many consumers lately and they all want to connect with stylists that are great and, you know, maybe have taken a class of mine. So write those down. Yeah. Thinning scissors also for curly hair. Okay, will I use thinning scissors on curly hair? Sometimes. But what you have to be cautious of is if you thin out curly hair too much, it just gets frizzy. So would I come in and would I place channels? Yes, but on wavy hair, probably not excessively curly hair. It's kind of, you know, okay, where did you start first and what is the process of creating disconnection? I love that question. Okay, so I started on the sides. I created my disconnection by coming from the high point of the head right here out to the recession area. Clipped that up. Okay, 34 years, love it. Okay, so once that was clipped up out of the way, and you can just see where that disconnection is because it's all that long hair, I came in and just did diagonal back sections all the way through, which just pretty much rounded this shape out, created a nice layering pattern. Then I connected right at the crown, right there, cut a square, and then that dropped the edges longer. So I started underneath. Now she's all messy. Okay, so I've got a lot of people that are, I saw some students are here. You guys, students, you've got it so good these days. When I started, you had to go to a show, like an actual show. You couldn't watch anything online. You had to go to a show and or get into a really good salon that maybe had education. Okay, a little bit of a pomade. This is the molding pomade from KMS. It's one of my favorites. I use it in my hair. You wouldn't think this type of a pomade you would put into longer hair, but I do it all the time. Just emulsify it really well. Okay. And then I'm going to use it mostly on those disconnected pieces. Disconnection shows up so much more when you place a little bit of a texturizing product into it. Okay, comments are covering the hair. Thank you. There we go. I put her down too low. Is that better, you guys? Okay. So once again, I'm in Dallas coming up next week. Next weekend. Yes, next weekend. And then let's see, I've got some classes in New York coming up at the Academy for Cal. And that's Cal owns Goldwell, Orbe, KMS, and as you guys know, a lot of you know I'm a global artist for KMS. So I'll be teaching the Synergy cutting program. I got to work on that with some amazing artists on the cutting team. There's Tony Cola and Didier LaChapelle. Didier is from Canada. We've taught up in Canada the class. Okay, look at how cute she is. Stylist in Australia. Ah, well, good. I love that you guys are enjoying the videos and that they're helping. You can always join Sharp Scissors Society as well. I just kind of did a brief overview of what I did inside of Sharp Scissors Society for my classes today. Or for my videos today, I should say. Those ones come out in December. September through December. I'm so lost, you guys. What month is it anymore? So, but Sharp Scissors Society, you can find that through the link in my bio. And also you can just go to seriousbeauty.com and click on Sharp Scissors Society. And yes, I am coming to Toronto. There's Didier, just joined me. Hi, Didier. I was just talking about our Synergy program that we have that's so amazing. It's being taught both in Toronto and in the New York academies. So, you guys, this is my little mullety, shullety, shaggy mullet doodad. Anyway, so thank you so much for joining me, and you guys have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Talk to you later.